Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Everest Kanto Cylinder Limited earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Anup Pujari from CDR India. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Everest Kanto Cylinders Q4 and FY2023 earnings conference call. We have with us today Mr. Puneet Khurana, Managing Director, and Mr. Sanjeev Kapoor, Chief Financial Officer of the company. We will initiate the call with opening remarks from the management, following which we have the forum open for a question and answer session. Before we begin, I would like to point out that some statements made in today's call may be forward-looking in nature, and a disclaimer to this effect has been included in the results presentation shared with you earlier. I will now request Mr. Puneet Khurana to make his opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our conference call. I will initiate the call by talking you through the operational and financial performance, after which we'll open up the forum to have a Q&A session. The FY2023 has presented its fair share of challenges for EKC, particularly in the CNG cylinder industry. The sharp decline in contribution from the higher margin segment impacted our overall results. However, we continued to witness a steady contribution from the industrial segment, which partially offset the decline and supported our performance. Our consolidated basis revenue came in at 297 crores in Q4 FY23. EBITDA stood at rupees 50 crores with a margin at 16.8%. PAT stood at rupees 36.3 crores, and on a standalone basis, revenue from operations stood at rupees 180 in Q4 FY23. EBITDA stood at 21 crores with a margin of 12%. PAT stood at 11 crores. On a standalone basis, FY23 revenue stood at rupees 790 crores and EBITDA stood at 107 crores with a margin of 13.6%. PAT stood at 72.1 crores. On a consolidated basis, revenue stood at 1,274 crores. EBITDA stood at 161 crores with a margin of 12.6%, and PAT stood at 76 crores. Revenue from CNG segment stood at 619 crores, contributing 48% of the revenue, followed by industrial business, which stood at rupees 336 crores, contributed 26%, and jumbo cylinders at rupees 249 crores, contributing 19.8% of the total revenue. Despite the challenges we faced, we remain optimistic about the potential of CNG cylinders in India. The government's commitment to increasing the utilization of eco-friendly natural gas, coupled with fiscal incentives and infrastructure in development, creates a favorable environment for CNG vehicles. Additionally, we are pleased that the government has recently approved recommendation of the Kritik panel on the natural gas pricing, which includes the imposition of gas price cap. This reform has resulted in a decrease in CNG prices across the country. The development further strengthens the outlook of future utilization of CNG in the nation and enhances the attractiveness of CNG as a viable, affordable fuel option. The continuous expansion of CNG distribution network across the country complements these reforms and supports the growth of prospects of CNG vehicle market. Looking forward, we hope for an improved demand scenario over the next few quarters. We look at strategic decisions earlier this year to temporarily slow down our future expansion plans and await for recovery of demand. We recognize that this is critical not only for demand to improve, but also utilization levels to increase before proceeding to our expansion efforts in India. With our established leadership position in industry, strong financial footing and expanded capabilities, we are fully confident in our ability to capitalize on the opportunity when demand rebounds. On that note, I come to an end to my opening remark and would request the moderator to open the forum for any question that you may have.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is on the line of Deepan Shankar Narayana from Trustline PMS. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks a lot for the opportunity. So firstly, with the implementation of Credit Parekh recommendation, so does that increase the confidence of truck owners using more and more CNG as their primary fuel? And when do we expect improvement in our sales volumes in domestic business?
No, sir, definitely this is going to give a lot of confidence, and already, there was a lot of kind of inventory holdback at the OEM as per commercial vehicles are concerned, and that movement has already happened, and the OEMs have already started kind of ordering new orders have been coming in. So definitely that this decision of gas pricing capping has helped.
Okay. So, but we have seen Q1Q drop in margins of India business. Any specific reason for that?
So I think that there's some old inventory that we've been carrying. So that's the reason why we see that drop.
Okay. So do we expect down from first quarter of next year improvement in volumes and our margins slowly inching up from here on Q1Q?
Yes, there should be improvement.
Okay. And this US business and Middle East business has improved substantially during Q4. So that run rate, is it sustainable, or post Q3 it has seen some improvement in Q4?
So, sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't hear you clearly.
About our US and Middle East business, Q4 has been there is substantial improvement in margins and sales growth as well. So is it sustainable at this run rate, or this is just a push up post that bad Q3 results for these two divisions?
Yeah, there was a lot of order book that got pushed out in the Q4 as per the US is concerned.
Okay.
So that was, but Dubai and India will be sustainable to the margins that they have been showing.
Okay.
Or improve.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Rather improve in India and Dubai, I think rather improve the margins.
Okay. I will join back the queue. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhavesh Chauhan from IDBI Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. We are hearing that there is a lot of imports of cylinders coming from China.
Right.
So how are they continuing to gaining market share versus Indian players in India?
There has been an import, after the COVID. But, I think that's, there is enough capacity in India that will probably, it's a matter of time that, you will not see that these kind of imports are going to happen.
So you expect
It's not really going to affect as such the local production or it is, and specifically for OEM business, they will probably just be looking for more and more local supplies. It is just a matter of some kind of situation that came up during COVID where there was a lot of uncertainty, and so there was a opportunity for the Chinese manufacturers to come in. But going forward, I don't think that's going to be a very long-term sustainable for them.
Okay. And how about demand from CNG side? We have seen strong traction in industrial, but how is CNG?
It's starting to pick up because the OEMs have lots of inventory that they are clearing out. So we are seeing that there's a pickup on that front.
And when do we expect that our historical margins of 20% plus be achieved?
So I think, when another thing is, the policy of the government has just come in. So this is definitely going to, change the scenario as per the CNG prices are concerned. But offtake has started, and slowly the things are turning around. But as soon as, we find some other more, favorable pricing of gas, which is hopefully expected in the next few months, a further change will, drastically increase the scenario.
Yeah. And so lastly, can you talk a bit about your expansion plans?
So expansion currently, we are watching because, we have built a decent large capacity currently. So we are just, expansion is only focused on products where, which are the new products, but existing capacity expansion is, going quite slow. Looking at let the market kind of, bounce back, and then we will, speed up expansion.
Yeah, got it. Thanks a lot and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Darshil Javeri from Crown Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Good evening, sir, and thank you so much for taking my question. Firstly, sir, congratulations on a great set of results. So I just wanted to ask, so now, as they're saying, we might see improvement. So could you just, help us guide what you think how FY24 will turn out? Maybe can we go back to our FY22 revenue and margins, or how would that impact us?
If the CNG prices, it really depends. Demand could, anything can happen. Like you had a sudden fall. You saw how the sales suddenly fell. So that again, if the CNG prices are corrected, then definitely you will see that same kind of momentum will begin, and it can happen. It can happen. The only thing is that this is too much of an external factor than more of an internal factor that we can control.
Okay.
It can happen if the CNG prices go back to maybe another sharp reduction and further gap between diesel and CNG. Definitely it can happen. And government is being very voiced about how they want to discontinue diesel. So these kind of things giving CNG more and more of a kind of more recognition, more sustainability going forward.
Okay, sir. So just for kind of understanding, so how would we have a sizable CNG business? So change in price would be you'll be very elastic to the change in price, right? Our business, how would that be? So how would we, work out the visibility when it's, quite dependent on government policy? So, some matrix that we could help, track, or it would be just when CNG prices reduce, our demand would be going down.
It's very difficult to give you a matrix, but I'm giving you a simple thing that the gap between diesel and CNG. As long as the gap of diesel and CNG remain quite decent, like now what has happened is that the infrastructure has been built in the country. So the CNG infrastructure is built. Now there'll always be a demand, a requirement for CNG vehicles, whatever the situation will be. But if we want to see an acceleration like that, the way it started in 2021 or from 18, 19 years, there's kind of acceleration that started. If we want to see that acceleration can happen only when there's a quite a decent gap between diesel and CNG, where the customer doesn't have to think. He has to just say, I want to go for CNG like he did in 2021. He was just going for CNG vehicles. They were, at the OEM level, they were 30-40% of the production was going into CNG, which is, changed in 21-22. Sorry, 22-23. Sorry, 22-23. The scenario changed completely because the CNG and diesel prices almost went at par.
Okay, sir. Okay, that helps a lot. So if I may ask one more question. So how have these 2 months been? Like, have they been on par with Q4? Like, I'm not looking for any substantial, but your flavor in case, how have April and...
Improved. I can tell you they improved.
Okay, they've improved. Okay, that helps me a lot. So I'll have a few more questions. I'll get back in the queue. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Amit Kumar from Determined Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Just one question. Very, very clearly, the cycle, the CNG commercial vehicle cycle seems to be, turning around. But, really given the extremely bad situation that we, saw in FY2023, I mean, very, very high, cyclicality, and given that, India will still be dependent a lot on, LNG imports, which have been sort of very, very volatile, in the past. But what we are typically seeing is that unlike commercial vehicles, the passenger vehicle, the CNG passenger vehicle side seems to be a little bit more, stable, sort of business. So two questions really. One, how easy it is, for you to sort of switch from CV sort of oriented, product to a passenger vehicle, product. And two, I mean, is that sort of in future, are you sort of even thinking about this, that, having a more, what shall I say, a more balanced sort of, portfolio, just so that, our business is not like so volatile that, we are doing, I think we did pretty phenomenally in fiscal 22, and then, fiscal 23 ended up being complete dampener.
Yeah.
Any sort of thoughts on this?
No, so see, we are continuously focusing on PV, but these are all projects that are drawn in the long term, so there's nothing that can change immediately, so if the PV volumes are already with somebody, you can't just, shut that down and give it to somebody else, or vice versa. So like if the commercial volumes are with us, that can't just shut down and give it to somebody else. So, these things happen over a period of time. Of course, our focus is going towards PV now, more and more looking at how these trends, are going to be in the future. And definitely that has been now become the focus for the company, that we have to have a, kind of a mixed basket. But, when we started, because the CV business was the way the company started to focus more on this business. So it was a more, we were more focused on the CV business. But now we see that, the PV business is also something that we need to have a share in that business too. So, of course, it is a continuous effort to do that for us.
Okay. And how sort of, your existing lines which are, your existing products and your existing lines which are more sort of geared towards, the CV business, how easy, I mean, internally, of course, we'll have to sort of go out and sort of seek, incremental, business from car makers. But internally, from a manufacturing perspective, how easy it is to, sort of make that shift or sort of utilize the same lines, across?
No, it can be done. It can be done. See, we can make any product in India. If someone can do it, we can do it. So that way, we have the largest capacity, the best quality product in India. So that way, as for capability is concerned, definitely no one in India can do it better than us. So we have everything that is required to meet this requirement and again, see, now we are in the midst of it's kind of a pickup situation. So, when the situation again, back to where it was in 2020, 2021, you will see that we will be the ones who will have the maximum advantage because, we have the capacity.
Sure.
We have the capability, we have the capacity, so definitely it's a matter of time. It all boils down to, because the kind of volumes that started coming in 2021, it was just not possible for, the manufacturers to cater to. So if that kind of scenario comes back, you can really choose, where you want to go. You want to focus on the PV, you want to focus on the CV, you want to, you can do whatever you want because then the volumes have just, are growing so much.
No, I understand. I mean, I don't have, really a point on the fiscal 24 cycle. It's more from a medium-term strategy perspective. Understood, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Nishit Shah from Equitas Investments. Please go ahead.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity.
Tell me.
So one of the earlier response on capacity expansion question, you said that you are focusing on new products. So what kind of new products were you referring to?
So, it's more of, composite cylinders. That's the kind of products that we are focusing on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we have capacity ready to manufacture composite cylinders?
So we are in the process. The investments are being done, and we are in the process.
Okay. And this time the US segment profits were higher. So are there any one-off?
So, they kind of pushed in a lot of orders that have actually left in the last quarter.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prakash Chandra Prabhakar. As an individual investor, please go ahead.
Hi, please. Hi. Good afternoon. Congratulations on getting the train back on track. I think it's. Most of the questions that I wanted to ask have already been answered largely, and I think you have already paid back. The company has already bought back the debt of the founders, so that is a silver lining. Because on my, of course, I keep repeating that with such a nice business, good management. You should send some signals to the market that the management is very convinced about the business and probably do some buybacks. Especially when the headwinds of those nature come, which are beyond your control. Signals like that will kind of keep the confidence of the investors, the retail investors, intact. That the founders are continuing to be committed to the business, and therefore they will not jump at the ship. When the headwinds come. One thing. So I think you should definitely consider that. You've got a fantastic return on capital and everything is nice. See, I have always held that 21 was an exceptional year, and I think we should stop mentally also benchmarking our performance against 21. It was a sad year, it was a bad year. Not that all the good things happened in the company primarily because of CV and the other models. Some of it also happened because of the oxygen cylinders, which is something that all of us would not like to kind of particularly remember, except the fact that it got in some money. So I think, as an expectation setting, and this is also to, our friend who's your investor communication person, you should also tell our investors that, 21 is a bad year to keep benchmarking, and mentally we should start kind of writing it out. That was a bonanza year. Two questions I have. What are the magic thoughts which happened in the US this year? US has been a kind of a dark spot all along, and it keeps turning in some kind of a surprise to the shareholder, right? Like you had some exceptional items right out the last 2-3 years. Now you have a fantastic result from there. So what is the kind of reliability of outcomes from that business?
US is all project-based business. So they had some kind of a dispatch or the completion of some big project at that time. So that's the reason why we see this sudden jump in the quarter.
Gotcha. So can one expect that this kind of lumpy revenues will keep coming from the US? That's the nature of the US business. Is it reasonable to? Because I remember you do a lot of things for the US defense, Navy, and those kind of things, right?
It's a project-based business. It could happen, that you could see one of this one-offs. Sometimes, some variation, yeah.
But is the management there stabilized? Your CEO is stabilized and those kind of things are looking nice there?
Yeah. Everything.
That's also nice. Okay. Now the other question which I had is that, one of the things that you mentioned over here is that if the CNG prices rise again or fall again, if they fall, they will have good business. If they rise, then we will have bad business. That's the kind of impression that I got from what you spoke a little bit earlier. Yeah, obviously, as management, I think the smart management is the one which finds out a mechanism. I know this is a little bit difficult, but nonetheless, how do you keep making money even if the CNG prices? How do you de-link the margins to change? And one thing which was discussed earlier, I remember some of the shareholders had highlighted this, that we have a phenomenal predominant position in the CV space. Are we doing something to kind of increase our footprint with Maruti and the passenger vehicles and those kind of things?
That is definitely something that we continuously do, to definitely that is something we are working on.
So is that market share increased over the last 1 year? Because I think last year when
it has. The PV business has done well.
What is the extent to which the improvement has happened in the PV business? Yeah. Are you a vendor to Maruti now? Are you supplying?
No, we're not.
Okay. And are you pursuing it, or that is still down your profitability?
It's a continuous this thing that we keep doing. We're always continuously trying to push them to buy products from us. So that is a continuous effort that we are doing. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some breakthrough sometime sooner.
Okay. But any indication of what is the improvement in profitability that can be expected from the steel prices and those things, or is that part of the business is insulated, and that aspect of the business is insulated?
I don't think anything from the steel prices perspective. I think they're more stable now. I think they're stable. So I don't think there's
so that part is that part is factored in the profitability.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay. Just one final question before I hand it over to Bharat. The commercial vehicle guys, my takeaway from the last call was that they were living off the inventory that they had. I presume they would have consumed those inventories, right? So what is the outlook for this quarter in progress? Because
it's improving every quarter.
Okay. So if their inventory they will consume the internal inventory, then we can expect better optics from Everest Kanto.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any participants who wish to ask a question at this time, they may please press star and 1. The next question is on the line of Harsh Saraswat as an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, Puneet. Congratulations on numbers coming back. My first question would be on what is the market share we have in, say, CNG cylinders right now?
Harsh, can you use the handset, please? Your voice is not very clear.
Is it audible now? My first question would be, what is our market share in CNG cylinders? And is there a lot of new capacity coming up in the industry across India?
So, I think market share would be around 40%. And new capacity coming up, I don't think there's any new capacity coming up now. I don't see any.
So is the industry going through a lot of overcapacity right now?
I think yes, currently yes, they are.
Okay. And what do you think on the margin side? Like, will these be the stable margins going forward? And what is the utilization levels for us right now?
So margins should be, they should be stable or they will improve for sure, yeah.
And what would be our capacity utilization as of now in Q4?
Capacity utilization around 60%.
60%. Okay. One more thing. On a very basic note, for all the benefit of all the investors, can you explain how CNG pricing works in India? In a very short, brief manner, if you could explain.
See, now we have obviously a new policy that's come in, that the government has capped the prices from $4.5 to $6.5. They have some linking that they've done with the crude pricing. This is specifically done because of the recent, increase in the CNG prices, the natural gas prices, sorry. So there's a new policy that's come. Before the prices were freely, allowed to move, but now they've kind of capped that. So that's the reason why we have seen that the gap has come between the diesel and CNG prices.
Got it. So what should be our understanding, like as an industry, what is the analysis going on that how will this new policy benefit us, or it can go against us also?
No, it will definitely benefit us. As the prices, continue to come down, it will definitely benefit us. And natural gas prices internationally are coming down, so there will definitely be a benefit. And going forward, there will always be a cap. So it won't, if the same scenario, because we are, because of this war, the gas prices became very uncertain. So if this scenario continues, then at least the cap is there. It might not come down, but at least it will not keep going up.
Right.
There's some control on the pricing now.
Okay. Makes sense. And on the new product development, one you talked is composite cylinder. Is anything happening on the hydrogen ecosystem side also for cylinder companies?
We are looking at it, but obviously hydrogen will take some time to come.
Right.
There is going to be some, because a lot of infrastructure, a lot of stakeholders have to come together. It's definitely going to happen, but when it's going to happen, it's very difficult to say. Maybe 3 years, 5 years down the line, it will probably happen.
Got it. That's all from my side. All the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is on the line of Bhavesh Chauhan from IDBI Capital. Please go ahead.
Sir, in terms of procurement, are we increasing our sourcing from India via Maharashtra Seamless?
Yeah, we are looking at that continuously.
So how that has improved over the last, let's say, 3 years?
Improved in the sense on the delivery front, or improved on the pricing front, or what?
No, in terms of procurement, that earlier we were procuring maybe 100% from China. Now it's like 80%, something like that.
So you could say maybe 50-55% we are procuring locally now.
And compared to what it would have been FY21?
Much lower in FY21, much lower.
Yeah. So in that case, our inventory days should ideally come off, right?
Yes, it should come off, yes.
Okay. And when can we have a very significant self-sufficiency, like 80% procurement from India?
It will happen, probably in matter of time, because sometimes what happens is lots of the products are not being made here. So those products we have to continue to import. So as soon as they are able to be made locally, then, we can switch over.
Right. And lastly, you in an earlier question, you said that margins, these kind of margins are sustainable, which is on consolidated basis 17%.
Sorry, say that again. Consolidated margin
of 17% EBITDA margin that you reported in this quarter is sustainable. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying that this 17% EBITDA margin that we reported in the quarter, that is sustainable, right?
Yeah, I think, it should be closer. Yeah, we should be closer to it, yeah.
Yeah, and standalone should improve, right? Because that was like quite weak.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhijit Mitra from Aionios Alpha. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question. So this is again on the inventory days. So the number of days have increased significantly here, about 277 days from 171 days last year. So is there a risk of inventory write down still, or
No. There's no risk of inventory right now. Inventory is moving, but of course, the change happens so quickly that we were not able to kind of get rid of all the inventory. But there's not going to be there is nothing like a non-moving inventory. There's no worry about that. That inventory is not moving.
Okay, got it. And the stocking at the OEM side, is it complete or is it still going on? As in
No. Now at the OEM level, now they're not buying anything if they're not selling.
Okay. Got it. And just to understand the utilization, which was 60% at the quarter end, is it improving incrementally or is it sort of static as we move into May?
No, it is improving.
Got it. Thanks. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Darshil Jhaveri from Concall Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my question again. So I just wanted to know, so in terms of revenue, could you just, if possible, give us a range of what we could maybe, expect in FY24, like something that could, help us? That's one question. And the other is, do we see any competition coming from the EV side, that can, hamper us or something that, that adoption might, pose a risk to us? Those are two questions. Thank you.
Sorry, you wanted FY24. Is that what you're asking? What the question?
Yeah, FY24 revenue, if some sense, we could get, maybe like a broad range of percentage that we could see, because I think it stated margins are there.
I don't know whether I can give any percentage. All I can tell you is it's going to be better. If that's, I don't know how that helps you, but.
Okay. So even if it's better, maybe Q4 run rate would be a nice benchmark, maybe.
Yeah, you can take it. Yeah.
Or okay.
Or better, maybe improving sometime. And as for EVs are concerned, I think EVs and CNG, they're completely two different markets. So I think EV in India is still, it's coming, but I think it's going to take some time before we see a complete infrastructure growth. So I think CNG still seems to be a good choice for the customer.
Oh, okay. And also, just I would, in terms of our capacity utilization, what level would we be at?
About 60% today only.
Okay. And at 60% today. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, sir. That answers all the questions. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhavin as an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Sir, my question to you is, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
My question to you is, right now the CNG prices are hovering around somewhere around the 70 levels. Right. At what level do you feel that, if the prices come, I know it's not a normal question, but at what, if the price come to somewhere around a 60 mark, will the demand come and will the revival happen, what we have seen, or this will move in that same range?
Oh, no. You can see that this small change of 7-8% has created momentum.
Okay.
So you're seeing another similar jump will definitely, you can imagine that the gap now, if the gap, if I'm able to make, if I'm running my vehicle and I'm getting 25%, if I can go to 40%, definitely, then it's a no-brainer.
But with the Kirit Parikh committee, do you feel, and internationally what I am reading in the newspaper, that the gas prices are globally coming down? I am not sure that how does it translate and truncate to coming to India, or how does it happen? But if you can throw some light that, we have seen that globally it has come down. Do you feel that in next 1 or 2 quarters in India it should come down?
It should come down. I mean, that is what the idea is, that if the gas prices come down internationally, definitely the same thing should be reflecting here.
Okay. Because just now I read that around from 8.5 it came to 7.8, but because of the gap of 4.5 to 6.5, it is pegged at 6.5 only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's still, that is something that when it comes further down, it will definitely reflect.
So when do you expect, from just a brainstorming or just from your
guess, the problem is.
No. My question is, when do you expect the capacity to hit 90% of your utilization?
Once, I think, if the CNG business, continues like this, definitely there will be a point that we will hit that.
Maybe you can see that in Q3, Q4 or next year. That is what my rough estimate would be. I'm sure that.
I hope so. I hope so. I will not be able to give you any firm numbers, but I hope so this happens. We are able to run that capacity.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And sir, are we pitching any mutual fund houses or fund houses with, because now this has become a totally different story than what it was earlier. Now it is like a zero debt company. There is no funds taken or no loans taken. And capacity expansion is done through internal accrual. So I'm still surprised that, why no fund houses or no mutual funds have still shown an interest. Are we doing any road shows for that? Or that I am part of this analyst meet or for this investor presentation for last couple of quarters. That is there. But apart from that, anything which is there which common man or common investor is not aware, or is there something done on that front?
No, we're talking to investors, continuously and just updating them about the situation. Now, it's really up to them to take the call to, invest, in the company or, things like that.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from Abhijit Mitra from Ionis Alpha. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible. My question is more on the, PV side. Is there any scope of adding capacity inorganically on the PV side?
There is a scope. Definitely we're working. Definitely there will be some or the other breakthrough on that.
Yeah, because this Maruti Quattro and all have been acquired, I think the number profile for 23 is very different for a PV cylinder supplier than a PV cylinder supplier. So probably a de-risking also inorganically can make sense. But in general, what would be the cutoffs that you have in mind in that case if you choose to look for an acquisition? What are the key things that you look for?
Acquisition at this time, I don't think we are, we are working on a 60% capacity utilization. So acquisition, I don't think, like I said, in India, I don't think there is anybody who has the capability on the product line or the quality line, that we are making. So, and also, they might have some customers that we don't have, but I don't think that could be a reason for us to try to acquire anybody. And we will just like, because we would like to focus more on product development and things that, we can control and, grow organically, inorganically, then we are just getting, stuck with other people's problems and then trying to solve them. So we do not want to, I think we moved very well over the, last 4-5 years. Things have, been made, the company's debt has been paid off, promoters' debt has been paid off. So we are kind of, and expansion of this kind of expansion has been done. So there's no stress on the company today on, how we're going to pay the debt or what's going to be. So we're not, too much into the pressure mode on, we are more focused on things like what is the new product line we want to develop, what is the new sales strategy, what is the, how do we grow the business. So, we put aside or, so, growing unorganic will just kind of, unless you find somebody who has a very good technology that we do not have, is something that we could definitely look at. But, trying to acquire people just for, then further again get into this debt trap. I think, I don't think it's advisable for us to do that. But definitely the board is there to take that kind of decision. And, if something comes, they can decide if they want to do it.
Got it. So that's very clear and thanks for this answer. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you. A reminder to our participants, please press star and 1 to ask a question. Ladies and gentlemen, as no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference back to the management for closing comments. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you once again for your interest and support. Should you need any further clarification and would like to know more about the company, please feel free to contact our investor relation team at CDR. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Everest Kanto Cylinder Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.